Well, good afternoon, all my beauty professionals. Today, I want to show you the procedure for tinting bleached hair back to natural. Now, this particular procedure, what I'm going to show you is how State Board used to want you to do it. So I would say this video would be more for beginners. But also I want to tell you that when you get out there in the real world, this procedure is not just cut and dry. In other words, this is someone who, let's say, just got a virgin bleach about 4 weeks ago, and they're not happy with their hair being bleached and they want to go back to their natural color. So in this particular procedure, you are actually coloring the hair that has been bleached, but you want it to match the hair that's growing out at the roots. But why I say it's not just cut and dry is because if you're doing someone's hair whose hair has been lightened, I will say with bleach, we call it, or lightener. For instance, let's say with this hair, it's been lightened. And I don't like it. I want it to match my dark roots, right? Well, I wouldn't just dump the dark brown color on this hair to match back with this roots. In other words, I have to go back and do what's called a filler, where I would fill in all the color that was taken out with the lightener. So it's not just cut and dry in that aspect. However, if you're beginning with this, what I'm showing you today is just the actual procedure on how you would apply it to the hair. And this is what schools should be teaching you. So if you're learning hair coloring in class, you would learn 9 color applications, and it's actually 5 virgin applications that you'd be learning. This is one of the virgin applications that used to be State Board. But also remember, just because something isn't State Board anymore doesn't mean you don't need to learn those procedures. Because if someone comes back to you and they say, hey, I've had this blonde hair and I just don't like it anymore, I want to go back to my natural color. Well, this is the actual procedure. Now, in this video, I'm going to be showing you, assuming that the client just got their hair bleached 4 weeks ago. And how much hair grows in a month? That's right, ½ an inch. So we're going to be starting ½ an inch from the scalp. But just remember, sometimes someone may come to you with 4 inches of outgrowth. You would start that color application exactly where you see that line of demarcation. If you're not sure what line of demarcation means, it just means that hard line that you can see in someone's hair where their natural hair is grown out, and then there's a line where the artificial color or lightener begins. But with that being said, before I get started, I want to thank you all so much for watching my videos. I want to thank you for your support. God bless you, and let's get into the video. Okay, so here's my table set up. 4 clips, all-purpose comb, rat tail comb. My mannequin is sectioned into 4 sections. And it's going to be from hairline to nape and ear to ear. Usually it's hitting the back point, the highest point of the ear when I say ear to ear. We're going to start in the back. Now, if you're right-handed, you can start in the back right. If you're left-handed, you would start in the back left. That's up to you. So the first thing before we apply any color is you always want to do some sort of protective cream. For the mannequin, I used a beeswax pomade, but that's just for the mannequin. On a client, the color line that you're using should have their own color protectant, which is a real lightweight cream to protect that skin from getting color on it and becoming irritated, if you will. So I'm just showing you how I went around the hairline, over the ear, behind the ear, on the nape, and all the way around above the other ear and up over the forehead. So I have my gloves on, and I'm going to put some simulated color in the temple. You never want to apply any chemicals without any gloves. And we're going to start in that back right section there. So what I want to show you in this too is how the subsections are at least, well, they should be no larger than a half an inch, but usually you do between 1/8 and 1/4 of an inch wide. But it always starts in that little corner there. I prefer to start from the top, working my way down, as opposed to down working up, because then you'd have to resection and reclip and all that, and we don't want to do that. So my starting application is really based off of how I used to teach it from the old State Board criteria, which tinting bleached hair back to natural, you are starting in the back where you had started the bleach application 4 weeks ago. And we are doing zone 2. So if you've seen my other color videos like virgin tint to darken and virgin bleach, you would know that there's 3 zones to the hair. Zone 1 is the scalp hair, comes out a half an inch. Zone 2 is a half an inch away from the scalp up to the porous ends, which is that last inch of hair. And zone 3 is the actual porous ends. So in this case, we're doing zone 2 only, meaning you're doing 1/2 an inch away from the scalp up to that last inch of hair. And then, now I'm not going to demonstrate for the whole head, you guys. I'm just showing you the whole back section, and then I'm going to show you part of the front section just so you have an idea on how you would subsection for your application up there. But you know that as a virgin application, you would do all 4 sections, zone 2. Then you would come back and you would do a strand test in the section where you started, only because it's been on that hair the longest, so it's had more time to process. Then after that, I'm going to show you 2 ways that you could do your last application. One, you could apply to the ends on all 4 sections and then come back and lightly comb through to break the line. So keep in mind with this particular color procedure, there's actually no color that should be on zone 1. You're just breaking that line between zone 2 and zone 1 so that it actually looks like their natural color again. So that's why it's called tint back to natural, so that it doesn't look like a tint. It actually looks like they just went back to their natural color. So you should not be able to see any color applied on zone 1, and that line should be broken so it looks natural again. Now, you could either do that, or on your second application, which I'm going to show you later, you will see that I am combing to break the line and applying on the ends at the same time. So actually my coworker teaches it like that. So either way is acceptable. So right now, the best way I could tell you when you're doing color applications is place your hand, once you do that subsection, place your hand as close as you can to the scalp and use the line of your finger as that line that covers a half an inch away from the scalp. Then I'm going to show you as it gets wider in this section down here, a peace sign, which I learned this from Redken a long time ago, that when you're applying foils or doing color, you place the peace sign up after you've done your subsection, and if the hair goes past that peace sign, then you know that you're going to split that section in 2s so that you can get thorough application. Now what I'm showing you here is how if you don't keep your fingers the same across the entire subsection, even when it gets wide, there would be a further distance on the outer corner, so you could see it was like an inch away instead of a half an inch. So that's why I split the sections in half. So just to ensure that it's all at the same place, half an inch away from the scalp. And as you can see, I'm also incorporating the peace sign and splitting the hair in halves where it gets wider on that part of the head. And that's just to ensure that your saturation is even. Otherwise, you have to go back and work over yourself, and that's a waste of time for you and for your client. Now, what I did with the subsections too, also, you guys, I forgot to tell you, is I crisscrossed them. And some of the subpartings were still hard to take down. I guess that shaving cream just got it stiff. But anyway, if you crisscross them, it makes them easier to take down. I'm going to be showing you also in this application how to neatly bring down your subsections. You never want it to be smashed on your client's head because this can cause scalp irritation for one, and two, it can slow down the oxidation process. So if you know when you're applying color, it needs oxygen to help it to process quicker, and also the oxygen in the peroxide that's processing. So you just want it to be more even. And here I'm taking down the subsections neatly, so you should be able to see each and every subparting that I did in the section. And it will allow for thorough oxidation to take place, and her scalp will not be irritated. Now, the common question is, won't color get on the other sections? I just take a towel and wipe it off. And the truth is, you're going to end up, well, you're not going to color the root area. So in that case, I just would take a towel and wipe it off. So now I'm going to be doing the front sections, and I'm just showing you that you section straight across. You don't section diagonally, but horizontally, coming parallel with the floor. And in this case, I did my peace sign again because the section up front is way too large. And I'm just crossing it over because I don't want it in her face. And I'm not going to do the whole front section. This is literally just to give you an idea of how you would do that front section. So you would do the back right, the back left, and the front right before you go back to the back right to do your strand test. Okay, so I'm bringing down all the subsections in the front. And as you can see, it's half an inch away from the scalp. Now I'm going to take you back to that back section, and I'm just showing you that you would do the whole head yourself before you come back and do your strand test. So what I do, especially on the mannequin, is use a paper towel, and you take a small piece on the top, place it on the paper towel, spray it down, and basically what you're doing is rinsing the color off just to see how that hair is processing. It's doing great. So now I'm going to apply to the ends. And then I'm also going to show you combing at the scalp. So right now I'm showing you the one way where I told you you could apply. Okay, and then I'm taking the rat tail comb and lightly breaking the line. And you're going against the grain of the hair lightly and applying to the ends. The other way, you would apply to the ends all the way around all four sections, and then you would come back and comb to break the line. So you're literally putting the teeth in at the line where your color is, and just kind of going back. 1, 2, 3. Against the grain, you're done. Don't overdo it, because then you end up smudging color up on the root where you don't want it. You just want that line broken, literally. So I'm bringing my subsections down neatly. And then I'm going to show you how you would do if I did the whole head that way. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching my videos. If you guys are truly learning from these video classes, please like, please share, and subscribe to my channel. Tell your friends to subscribe to my channel. It means so much to me. I appreciate it, and this is why I do what I do, because I love to help people. See you next time. Bye.